Hey, welcome back to our channel. So this is a first series of many where we as newlywed couples wanted just to share our life experiences and all the struggles and developments that we kind of went through through our livelihoods, both as a couple and now as a newlywed. So you're not talking to the Wilsons, Chris Wilson, Rosie Wilson, and we're very happy to be here. So I was thinking the other day that it's been a little over a year since we've purchased this home.
Yes, it has been.
And I was just thinking all the struggles and the nuances and everything that kind of went along with it, the emotions and the mind games, in order just to be at a point where we could afford this beautiful home.
Well, even to the point to be able to achieve this goal, there was a lot of milestones in between. There was a lot of tumbling in between. There was a lot of acrobatic arts going on, because there was a lot more that happened that we were not expecting.
I remember when we first got into in like the series or the I don't know, the sequence of trying to buy a home.
So the first step was the whole, okay, are we going to do this? And if we are, we had set forth the plan to be debt free.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
So we had to then conquer that. And that's where I introduced
Dave Ramsey.
to
Yeah.
you, right? So I learned about him years ago. Him and Susie Orman have been a really big influence on my financial literacy. And so I introduced Dave Ramsey to you when you were the one at the time had the most debt.
Yeah.
I may have had a car payment, and that was short term.
And just for our viewers, we're not getting sponsored by Orman or
that's
Dave
right.
Ramsey,
Yeah, we
so
should say that.
we're not chiming them out as far as who you should watch. And
Yeah.
You're exactly right. That was, I think my fear. I think I had 3 credit cards.
Subscriptions.
I had several subscriptions. School loans. Thanks for pointing it out. School loans. I had a car note.
And any other leisure stuff that you had also.
I think just those expenses, like the 3 credit cards, and they were somewhat high limits.
You even took a course, or there was a course that
first time it was a first time home buyers
participated in.
It was through I forget what program
but it was done. You did it, and then there was still a long pause.
Yeah.
Like we didn't move forward because then it was like, shoot, okay, what? There was things that happened in between.
Yeah.
Then you started the snowball effect with, we listed out
all of our debts,
the debts,
smallest to largest.
Yeah.
We attacked the little one with a vengeance.
And just started. And then we had goals, right? Because then you said, okay, your car, I want to pay it off 3 months, 6 months later. Like you were very aggressive with your
I had to be,
goals.
Because I think it was, we were, once we said, okay, we're all in, we were all in. We were all in.
So subscriptions
ended
immediately.
Yeah, so the shot clock started in terms of, okay, we're all in. Now we have this time frame, cleared up each debt. And let me tell you, it was fulfilling in the process.
Yeah.
And I think that's, getting to the finish line is great, but the process, I think, is just so rewarding.
Yeah.
Because it allowed me to figure out, not even figure out, that's the wrong choice of words, understand that, this big mountain of debt, I can clear it myself.
Yeah.
But it was just staying consistent and just staying, just keep my nose down to the ground and just, keeping the course.
And then that's where financial literacy fell in, because I had learned that, right? So this is not things that we are taught necessarily in school. and
we're
setting a
not.
plan out, writing everything down, and then tackling one by one, living still within our same means.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Once
that's the biggest thing.
One of the accounts was paid off, we didn't then go spend.
Because
that, right?
because it is.
We kept tackling.
It is tempting, to like if you erase a subscription to your favorite, Netflix or, Hulu or whatever. It's tempting to just, because everything is like the click of a button nowadays.
Yeah, it is.
Whether it's on your cell phone, But I want to just give a shout out to first-time homebuyer courses, because it definitely put me on the path to understand that in order to afford a home, whatever home it is, whether it's a single family or multi-family, there are steps that you have to take in order to get there. And clearing up debt so that you're not house poor is definitely wonderful.
Yeah. So we got through that. And that was, again, took a year.
Yeah. It was a year of just... I don't want to coin Dave Ramsey again, but it really was rice and beans and beans and rice, because that's really what it was. Because
we cut back.
We were not eating out, we were not going out to restaurants, we were just cooking at home.
Well, but then I will say we gave ourselves a limit, because we did say, okay, if we do go out to eat, this is how much we want to spend.
Yeah. As far as
or
entertainment.
We are invited somewhere, this is what we can squeeze in. So, because that was already part of our lives. And so we took that into account as well. So we didn't just go
splurge and just, okay, we clear up the debt, now we have this much more money to spend on whatever.
So, but it was at least a year, maybe a year and a half, but you were really aggressive, because that car loan came down quite, like, you paid off.
I was paying.
You paid that off sooner than what the goal, than our benchmark.
I was paying I don't put my business out there, but I was paying in the thousands, and like
by that point.
every time that I was able to put a couple thousand down, I was working a lot. I had good other passive income too that was very helpful to it at the time. But just kind of fast forward to now we're debt free. Now comes like the house hunting, and
but at this point, even before the house hunting though, it was the planning, because then the baby came.
Yeah, which was
the announcement of the baby.
Unexpected, but expected.
We planned it, but it was just the timing. That was all left up to God, so we didn't know exactly when that was going to happen.
And we were also planning to get married.
Oh yeah. So the plans were also the marriage. The wedding, the marriage happening.
So that's why I say like the baby was expected, but kind of unexpected as far as like the timing of it.
Yeah.
It just kind of pushed back the wedding and pushed back
the wedding 2 years.
Yeah. So, and let me tell you, in California, it's not, it's they're out there.
It's a challenge.
But you have to be willing to make some sacrifices.
I think it's a lot of sacrifices.
And just know that it may not be everything that you want, but it is also have to be your forever home.
And I think that's why we also wanted to have this conversation, because you at one point you were also thinking, I just think this is out of our reach.
I'm gonna be honest, like in California, it's extremely difficult to be able to even afford 15%. Just because the market is so saturated and there's not enough supply, right? In like California.
Well, even the 3.5%, because of the cost
of
everything.
Yeah.
There's just some you're trying to reach that goal, and you
want to find that sweet spot. Now we're debt free. We know what type of house that we're looking for. We're in the process. So now we're in the middle of everything.
We're in the middle.
Engaging with different other real estate agents.
Yeah.
We're going house hunting. We're kind of, it's kind of like a process by elimination. We're going to a house. We're saying, okay, we don't want this, because when you're looking for a house, there's wants and needs, right? There's something that you want, or is it something that you actually need?
Going to be able to get into a 1-bedroom with our newborn. And so we quickly learned
how wrong we were.
Yeah. And that was after we just visiting the first three properties.
And then just seeing like the price tag of it, and then just kind of crunching the numbers and to see how that looks for a monthly, and it was out of our reach.
So then I wrote down. I remember coming back and then writing down. Okay, no, I said, this is what we need based off of what we've seen, right? So we wrote everything down. Well, as we started searching
again, like the wants and the needs.
Yes. So it was, detailing, right? Okay, can we get into a unit that has a 2-car attached garage, or that has laundry hookups inside the house, because we have a little one. One evening I was sitting down and this property came up and I was like, how did I miss this?
Yeah.
Well, called the broker. They immediately jumped on it, got us in the following morning. This was an evening. Mm-hmm. Got us in the following morning.
Yeah.
And as soon as we drove into the neighborhood, walked in, we were like, this is it.
Yeah, it checked off all the boxes, and we weren't even in the door yet.
Mm-mm.
It was gated. It was in a cul-de-sac, and you could see a little trail behind us, so I think it fulfilled a lot of my wants and needs. When we came inside, it was like, we had a 2-car garage, we had
attached
washer and dryer,
and the unit.
Hookups inside the unit. It was
the property.
It's a townhouse style, mm-hmm. really, where we have upstairs and downstairs, and it just dishwasher. So it included a lot of things that we said, what, we need.
Yeah. With the little one, we need. This is what we need.
Yeah. Yeah. And as a family.
I remember after finding it, then immediately we were like, okay, we want to put in an offer. But my list that I made of our needs, of what we really needed in a property after we initially, thought we were going to be able to get into a 1-bedroom. I had it on the wall and I put it down, and I remember showing it to you and be like, look at read on my list. And
I
it was
that.
Everything that I wrote down, this house provided.
Write the vision. Write the vision and make it plain, right?
Everything was there. So then the next step was writing the offer, right?
Yeah.
And then getting into the property, and that was a whole nother battle.
Oh, geez, that was...
Because the city, any city program, any county program, they require 60 days closing.
Yeah.
For minimum, for all of their paperwork. We knew that it was, probably going to be a little bit more than 30. So we went all in. I remember the lender calling me, and we were at another event we were in San Diego, and I remember the lender calling me and saying, because they were in negotiations already. So our broker was in negotiation with the other broker here. They were keeping our lender in the loop, and because the homeowner, this house fell out of escrow that night before. That's why it was back on the market. That's why we hadn't seen this property. And so they were, of course, the seller, right, was already concerned, like, are these folks going to be able to close? Are they, is this a valid offer? Is everything going to go through? She was already traumatized, right? So I remember the lender calling, and I was like, oh no, we need you to push and say however you can or what you need to, so that we get this property.
We were in escrow for 90 days.
Ultimately landing us an escrow for 90 days. And
so the message here is to make sure that you have experienced people backing you and supporting you that are going to help you and walk you through the process. Because I definitely needed my hand held through the whole 90 days, because I did not expect for it to be this thorough. I had to turn over
everything,
not just the basic paper, not just the basic like back taxes, They wanted to verify
everything.
my actual
Employment
job
from
position.
Years ago.
Like 2 or 3 employers ago.
Yes.
They wanted
Yes.
to make sure that I had the same.
Oh my gosh.
The same job duties as I have now that I had then.
And which was very clear that you did, but for whatever reason, the city kept asking for these papers.
And they wanted to make sure that every dollar amount was accounted for in my bank account.
Sure. So, which is valid.
Exactly.
It's valid.
They want to make sure that there's consistency in your income and that there's not any one-offs. So that's why I had to have, if there was something that was, a suspect, line item, for them, they wanted me to write a letter or had a letter from that entity saying that this was a gift or this was,
every
or
money,
this was
all the monies had to be accounted for.
Yeah.
And I remember you submitted everything, and then one question that came from one of the processors there.
Which one's that? There were so many.
They were like, "Oh, you own Bitcoin?"
Oh,
and we were like,
that was a whole
my gosh. We went through every single bank statement and made sure that we provided every single thing. And what did we forget? The Bitcoin information.
They wanted.
So hello. So you could not hide there's no hiding.
Yeah.
No hide. Well, and then the one good thing was that at that point, everything was at a negative.
Yeah.
Like there was now no increase in the Bitcoin during that time.
At the time, yeah. Now it's like,
oh my gosh.
But
again, we were like, are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah.
So
you're
many
right.
days just going
I forgot
through
about that.
Okay, there's this savings account that has a little bit. There's the this and there's this. And we forgot the Bitcoin information.
So any assets that you have, they will definitely be looked at. Whether it's stocks or whether it's cryptocurrency, whether it's bonds, any assets that you have,
anything.
That counts towards your income.
Your assets.
But yeah.
So we got through that.
And I mean my printer was going overtime. I mean, it was just printing, no. Yeah. And keep in mind, I'm also holding down a 9 to 5 at that point. Thank God I'm working from home.
Every day,
but
a call was coming in to request something.
And I was getting so frustrated. I mean,
and I had to remind,
God bless.
I'll help wherever I can.
I forget his name, but we don't have to repeat it. But I forget his name.
The processor.
But the processor. Or the underwriter, he was calling me 24/7, these tedious things. The bank is asking for this, the real estate agent asking for this, the loan officer on their end is asking for this, and I'm like, really, I'm trying to get my work done, and I'm
yeah.
So, but it was, I guess all to say is, patience is going to be the best asset that you can have throughout this whole process, because let me tell you, there was times where I wanted to just
you were
fold up my cards and just leave and just get out of get out of town because it was just so much. It was stressful, it was emotionally draining. And I was just and we also have a newborn at this point, so I mean, me and Rosie are trading off shifts. Whether it's watching the baby or changing the baby or sleeping with the baby, or it's just it was just too much. It was too much bundled into one, and
I was still trying to recoup from having her.
Yeah. You were in a whole other different
mindset. Yeah, but I did manage because I already was familiar with. The process just in general. So I knew that all these little questions were going to be super tedious and feeling obnoxious to us, which it was getting to Chris, but I said, no, it's okay. I'll help. And I helped wherever I was able to.
She was definitely superwoman throughout the whole process.
Pulling paperwork and documents and sending that over. So that helped. So we went in deciding, okay, so now we made an offer. We know that we're going to move forward with the city loan, county loan, and we're in it almost maybe about a couple weeks, right?
Yeah.
Or because everything's step. At first, you have to, get through the regular underwriting information with the lender. Then you have to go through the underwriting with the city, and then
they want to verify everything.
That's when they verify everything.
And if there's even
so.
a small change, I mean, it could be microscopic, like missing a period after a sentence.
They'll come back for it.
They will come back and they will question you about it. So if you're able to have a partner like Rosie, or a spouse or a friend that will help you through the process to kind of keep you in check.
Yes.
Because if I would have been out there by myself, I absolutely know I would have quit probably 40 days after.
Day 40 after in the escrow. So I want to also recall that the going through the underwriting with with the lender before even getting into underwriting with the city.
Yeah.
Because they already knew the process with the city, they had already asked us for these 101 documents. So we thought we provided everything. And then once it got into the city underwriting that they really started kind of going through everything with the fine comb, right?
Mm-hmm.
And asking for all these papers. Well, then in between this process, we learned of another program.
It was through LA.
It was for LA County. It was through LA County.
Yeah.
And
it was a $30,000 grant.
Because our property is in LA County.
Yeah.
It qualified. However, again, we didn't know that they needed a minimum of 30-day escrow. Right?
Yep,
So we learned about this program when we were maybe 2 weeks into escrow. And so we thought maybe we can catch up with the city of loan, with the
LA County loan.
Yeah, with the city loan.
I'm all backwards. I don't know.
With the the loan through the city.
Traumatized again.
And because they also need the 30 days. So we learned about that program. It was a brand new program. It wasn't just 30,000. It was.
I thought it was 30.
No, this was like an $80,000 grant.
Oh, see how much I'm off. Well,
we may it may have not qualified for the entire amount, but this was just to say, and I want to mention this, that these are other programs that come out of the blue. Like you don't know. And it was like random how you came across it.
Yeah, we
started looking into it, but then we didn't hear anything, so we hadn't mentioned it to the lender. And then one day I was like, let's mention it to the lender.
I was searching through Instagram. I remember I was searching through Instagram and I saw this. It was like the LA County green.
It was a program.
Green light or green something for first-time home buyers, and I took a screenshot and I sent it to you, and then you sent it to, I think, our realtor or to the
lender. I said we have to get it over to the lender.
And then like the ball is rolling from there, and so we had a contractual agreement, and so here now
because they wanted to know where we were at.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying.
So now here I think we're like in
we're well
maybe
into
day like maybe like day like 40 or something like that. The seller now is asking like, what the hell is taking so long?
What's going on? Yeah.
And so now we come across this grant for 80K, and we're like, okay, we
need to take advantage.
We want to submit that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now, so
now the lender's like,
I remember.
Oh my gosh.
I remember each night I was like, God, please don't let the seller pull out.
Yeah.
And I kept on asking our realtor, like, hey, did you talk to the other broker? Yeah. Did you mention something nice to him to kind of help them help the seller feel confident that we're serious about this.
One thing,
but hold on, but it's important that that it was an open line of communication.
Yes.
And that was, and
Both ends, yes.
however, I wanted it to be more because I was really in fear that the seller was gonna pull out.
Yeah.
But I was talking to our realtor, I think almost every day. Hey, have you heard from so and so? Have you talked to so and so? I think like something happened personally with her. How is she doing? You know, stuff like that. Because I did not want to lose all the sweat equity that we put into 40 days, and then comes 60 days, and then I'm like a nervous wreck. And
I will remind you at day 40, because the seller had already gone through this experience.
That's why too.
Our broker was able to remind, right, the other broker, like, remember, this is city stuff. We cannot push anything quicker.
So for the seller, it was like deja vu.
Exactly, but still traumatizing because the previous one fell out. The previous buyer fell out, so she did not want it. She didn't want to go through through it again, you know. So so they would get on the phone. Our broker and the lender would get on the phone with the seller and her broker at the time, and they would have a call just to put her at ease. And so the lender was like, no, they're, you know, everything's fine, everything's good. It's just the city of LA, they're underwriting. This is how long it takes, right?
And it helped. And the seller refuses to sign an extension.
Oh,
that was the most scariest part for me.
Very
because I think she signed one extension after 30 days, but then after that it was like she would not sign any extension. And I was like, okay, now we're operating on a hybrid system.
Yeah.
It's like a gentleman's handshake. You know, it's like.
But she herself was moving forward, and it's because our brokers were communicating.
That's why I said communication was key.
Had a great relationship with the seller, and they might have been really good friends. And so because our brokers were talking and communicating throughout this entire time, he was able to put his seller at ease that yes, this is going to go through. Then eventually she started packing because she hadn't packed.
And that was a good sign.
And so we were like, oh my gosh, okay, great, right? And so all of this to say, we were going through this process. We determined that going through one of these programs was best for us at the time.
And it may not work for everybody, right?
Well, you have to determine that. Again, you have to read the fine print.
Yeah.
You need to speak with the lender so you understand what the terms are. And it has to work best for you. You have to want to do it.
Exactly. And I think to kind of just piggyback on that comment, you have to be honest with yourself too about what you could afford and what you could not afford. And you have to be honest about, okay, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I need. This is not what I want, but this is what I need.
And if this program is going to help me get in there, are you kidding?
Yeah.
Like, what else are you waiting for?
So
forget about what other people tell you.
Yeah, or what you see.
Because believe me, we had people tell us, oh, but my lender over here does this. Oh, okay, thank you. And let it go. We got the house. After 60 days, escrow?
No, it was 90 days.
Oh, 90 days.
90 days. 90.
Yep. Oh my gosh.
It was 90 days. It closed on June 10th of last year?
6th or 10th, yeah.
Anyways, I remember.
It's been a little over a year.
I don't know what I think I got a call from our processor or something and said everything has been submitted.
Yes. Oh.
How did I know that we were that escrow was closed?
Okay, first
I don't remember that.
So there's the lender that we first went through. Then there's the underwriting and lending from the city of LA. Then the grant had their own lending department also because they needed things verified as well.
Then they needed a week.
Yes.
Oh, that was the longest week
in the world. Yes, because we ended up coming.
And that was business days.
Yes, because the signing happened on a Thursday or Friday. Then they needed their person to sign, but we had to sign before the weekend. It was craziness, but that did push us out an extra week. So of course, the seller was still
And then
on pins and needles, but
I don't remember how I knew that escrow was closed and I'm going to recording.
the lender's the one who told us.
Okay, I thought it was like some bells and whistles and confetti would drop from the
They
heavens or
called and
something.
said, "Oh my gosh, finally we are done. It's done. It's closed, and we are so happy. And it's June, and we're like, we had a plan. Okay, we're moving now. We want to paint the house. We want to do this before we move in. We start coming. We start preparing. We start cleaning the property."
But wait, before all that, all I cared about for me is signing the damn document,
closing,
and recording.
Yeah,
you know, going to recording. So I traveled. It was in Huntington Beach.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it
Huntington
was.
Beach?
Yes,
Yeah.
it was.
And she told me that both grants had come through.
Everything was funded. Everything had funded.
Signed online, and I got the keys.
Everything had funded. Yeah. So that was the first.
That was.
And it didn't end there.
No.
We were planning. We scheduled out the dates. We scheduled out when we were going to move out. We started calling our insurances. Let's do that. We have to do the car. We have to do this. We have to do that. We have to cancel all of this. We have to cancel all of that. So we planned it all out, laid everything out. We're going to paint. We're going to do this. We're going to clean, la, 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 la. And then someone decides to land in the emergency room.
That's for episode 2. But back to the house.
A long journey.
It was a long journey, but it was, absolutely
worth it.
100%. I would do it all over again.
Yes.
No matter how emotionally painful and
how draining
it was. But just know that if you are looking to buy a home for the first time, write everything down, what you need, what you want, separate those two, have a good partner like Rosie, by your side, whether it's your partner, your spouse, your friend, someone you trust, and look for if you have someone in the business, whether it's
already
a real estate agent or a loan officer or some sort of person that's already in the environment that will help walk you through the process. So the moral about it is just know that there will be hurdles and hiccups in the process, and you're kind of like you have to roll with them, right? You have to just swim alongside the current,
even if it doesn't make sense to you.
Yeah, because let me tell you, there is when you're in the process, you feel at mercy to everything that they're saying that you have to do. It's like you're a puppet. Like I'm the puppet, and they're pulling the strings, and it's like I want something that they have, so I have to produce everything that they are asking in order to obtain this new shiny thing. So just know that you may feel taken advantage of, but again, it's just part of the process. And as far as the programs, these programs work for us. Keep your eyes open, because there may be programs that you don't know about, but also that your real estate agent may not know about, but you see. And feel free to, because that's what I did. I was on Instagram scrolling through social media, and I just happened to see this grant for this amount, and our loan officer said, "Oh, we know about this one," and then we looked more into that, or they looked more into that, and we took advantage of it. But all that to say is we're here. We got the keys. We've been here for about a year.
It's been over a year.
We're out of boxes. The house is painted, and I've already been paying property taxes on this place, which is, a lot. But happy to be in as a home buyer, as a homeowner.
Yeah. But we did want to share the experience.
But we want to share the experience and share all the challenges and the smiles and the cries throughout the whole process, because there will definitely be smiles and there will definitely be cries.
And just shed some light that there are opportunities out there for us who we sometimes think that it's so far out of reach.
So if you enjoyed this video, well, first of all, thank you for watching this whole video. I really appreciate your patience on this and just hearing us out. But again, we want to be able to share our experience, and we want to be able to share our experiences on a lot of other different issues too. So this is episode 1. We'll be doing a few more on different life experiences.
Just life in general.
I think we kind of teased it earlier in the video about the next one. So just hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you liked it, share it with some of your friends, colleagues, so on, and we'll talk to you next time.
Thank you.
Thanks all. Talk soon. Bye.